Morning, Steph here. I hope you're all well. Today I'm here to talk about mindfulness, and for this session I'm going to be continuing on the theme of the 7 attitudes, which some of you may know. I'm using this book, Full Catastrophe Living, as a basis. Book's written by John Kabat-Zinn, who is the first person really who brought mindfulness to the West for use, particularly for people with health problems. And in the book he describes 7 attitudes, and we've covered we have covered some of them. So we've covered non-judging in the first week, followed by patience, beginner's mind, trust, developing a basic trust in yourself. And this week we're going to be talking about non-striving. And I was just sort of reflecting on striving, actually. What does striving mean? And it sort of has a sense of very intensively wanting to get from A to B, perhaps with a fairly, I don't know, tense way, single-minded. It's sort of very in your head, very heady, you know, you're wanting to get somewhere. And I don't know whether that's an attitude. I mean, in a way, as human beings, we've needed very much to be able to solve problems and get from A to B, and in some way make sure that we were able to get enough food to survive. So striving, I'm not saying necessarily is something which is bad, but I think as an attitude in meditation, it can get us into a sticky place. So non-striving in meditation. So perhaps in meditation, the non-striving element of this attitude can be helpful as a way of trying to get somewhere, feeling that we've got to get somewhere. It may be that we're sitting in meditation and there's just this general feeling of unsatisfactoriness, or just not feeling you're getting it, or whatever. So you think, right, must try harder. You know, I've got to get relaxed. I've got to be in a nice moment, have a nice sort of moment of just being meditative and absorbed in meditation. And the act of striving for that actually can be very counterproductive. So actually, instead, what we're cultivating really is a different mode of mind. So striving is very much a doing mode, and what we're looking at is to move into more of a being mode of mind. You are who you are. There's nowhere to go, no place to be. You're fine as you are. And is it possible just to allow yourself to be with that moment as it arises? And it may be that as you move into that, that you can get a sense of what is meant by non-striving. is it possible just to be as you are right now in the present moment? Nowhere to go, nowhere to be, nothing to do. What happens when you actually move into that being mode of mind? Being with whatever arises, however sticky it might be, might feel. So, non-striving. It's as opposed to striving. And I suppose often with striving, when you're going to try and get something to happen, there's this feeling that where you are is just not quite right. So you're in, say, A, and you want to get to this nice, relaxed feeling, B. But it's sort of sending a message, really, that actually in this present moment where you are, which is perhaps unsatisfactory, you actually don't want to be there. You want to be somewhere in the future where you are nicely and relaxed. And so in a way it's chasing the future to try and get into this relaxed place rather than being in the present where you can move into being and seeing whether it's possible to notice, I'm in this mode where I don't want to be present. I don't want to be with what's going on for me right now. I want to be there. So if you can notice that, that's great. Because then you can move into that sort of intuitive way of allowing yourself to just move into the present moment experience. Often that might take a moving from the thought process and the thinking mind, often felt up here, into perhaps being a little bit more integrated into the body, feeling perhaps your ground, your breath, the moment. So it's a shift in focus. And it's not to say that mindfulness is not about having goals or, some sort of reason for doing the mindfulness. Actually, it can be really helpful to get a sense of why you want to practice mindfulness. What do you want to get out of actually developing a regular mindfulness practice? And it may be for all sorts of reasons, to manage stress better, anxiety, pain, or just start feeling better about yourself. It could be all sorts of reasons. So having a goal for actually and a reason for doing it is fine. It's just that trying to achieve those goals whilst you're meditating at the same time can set you up to actually spend all your time trying to do meditation rather than to be it. And actually, John Kabat-Zinn puts it quite nicely, actually. I might read this bit. In meditation, the best way to achieve your own goals is to back off from striving for results and instead to start focusing carefully on seeing and accepting things as they are, moment by moment. With patience and regular practice, movement towards your goals will take place by itself. This movement becomes an unfolding that you are inviting to happen within you. So, I think that might be a good place to finish. I think there's going to be a recorded practice that I've done before. I was having tech issues with doing 20 minutes, so I'm just hoping that this is enough for you, and that then you can access the 10-minute mindfulness of breath practice as well. But this will probably be put up separately, I'm not sure. So, thank you for listening. Good luck, and I'll see you next week when we'll be doing the next one, which I'll have to find out what it is because I haven't got it to hand. Might be acceptance, but we'll see. Anyway, see you next time. All the best. Bye-bye. For this session, I'm going to be focusing on a mindfulness of breath practice. Around 10 minutes. So giving yourself a moment or two to find a comfortable place to sit, whilst at the same time seeing if it's possible to remain in a fairly upright posture, not too far back, not too far forward, and at the same time reasonably comfortable. Now that can be sitting in a chair, fine, sitting cross-legged, or even kneeling on a little stool. The important thing is it's a position you're going to be able to be comfortable in for 10 minutes or so. So finding your posture, and also perhaps deciding whether you want to have your eyes open or your eyes closed. Either is fine. If you have your eyes open, perhaps seeing if it's possible to have a fairly unfocused gaze. Often people find 45-degree angle is quite comfortable. And so that you are able to feel relaxed in your eyes. And I found it helpful to perhaps have a sense of having your eyes open, but with almost with a sense of relaxing from the back of your eyes. Anyway, that might be helpful, might not. Okay, so let's make a start. So finding your posture, finding your seat, perhaps just checking in with your alignment of your back, neck and head. Gently tucking your chin in, presenting the crown of your head to the ceiling. And then moving into your body, moving into where the contact of your body is to the floor, to the chair, to whatever you're sitting on. Seeing if it's possible to feel your ground. What's supporting you? Maybe you notice your feet in contact with the floor. Is it possible to move into this area? Feel it, experience it. Feel the aliveness perhaps of the sensations in your feet. Tingling, warmth. And it may be you have no sensations there, and if that's the case for you, this is your experience, and that's what we're working with, our direct experience of this moment. So then perhaps moving up from your feet all the way up your legs to your sitting bones and connecting here. Really perhaps feeling the weight of your body as it's bearing down on the chair, whatever you're sitting on, feeling where it meets. Seeing if it's even possible to allow that grounding to sort of meet you. You meet it, it meets you. Relaxing into it. Allowing yourself to be supported by what you're sitting on. Then moving from here upwards, up your back, your spine, torso. Perhaps even allowing a sense of uplift as you move up your body, up to your shoulders. Moving in here and sensing what's happening, sensing into your shoulders. Often a place we feel stress or tension, so seeing if it's possible just to drop your shoulders a fraction. And being with whatever sensations are there. Perhaps moving now down your arms. Feeling the sensations in your arms and then moving into your hands where they're resting, being with how they're resting. Perhaps having a sense of what your direct experience of your hands is right now. Is it possible to be with that? And then moving upwards once more, all the way up to your shoulders and to the place where your shoulders meets your neck. Feeling into the back of your neck. And your whole neck area, just taking that in. Feeling what's there. And moving upwards into your face, your head, your scalp. Is it possible just to be with the experience of that? Sensations that arise. No need to change anything or make anything happen. Is it possible just to be with it as it is? So now expanding your attention to take in your whole body sitting here. The weight of you as it's moving down and the height of you as it's moving upwards. Fully present here in this moment. Feeling the whole body sitting here. And so now is it possible to come to the breath and to just be with the breath. So seeing how your breath is naturally breathing. Perhaps noticing where precisely you feel the breath as it comes into your body. And then changes into an out breath and then finds its way out of your body. So really noticing those sensations that you feel, the sensations of the breath. So you may notice notice your breath in your nostrils. You might notice actually that the breath is cool on the in-breath. And then the temperature changes and is warm on the out-breath. So just spending a few moments noticing the breath as it's entering into your nostrils and then leaving through your nostrils. You may also be able to notice the breath with the rise and fall of the chest. Or even with the abdomen. Rises on the inhale and falls on the exhale. So choosing where you want to focus the breath. Allowing yourself to be where it feels most vivid for you. Just allowing the breath to be breathed naturally. No need to change it. Just being with it. Whether it's a long breath, allowing that to be a long breath. Or a short breath. Just allowing that to be a short breath. And you will notice thinking will arise. It's what our minds do. So as you notice this, seeing if it's possible just to notice thinking, perhaps even saying to yourself thinking, and then gently and with kindness coming back to the present moment's experience of the breath. Coming back to this moment. However many times you find your mind has wandered into thinking, just each time bringing it back. And you will notice your mind will wander. It may wander 1,000 times, and what we're doing here is just bringing it back 1,000 times. Back to this breath. Perhaps feeling the flow of the breath. The movement of the breath as it becomes an in-breath, or as the moment it becomes an out-breath. That changing pattern of sensations of the breath. Just being with it all. And each time you find your mind has wandered, you're going to come back just to this breath, to this moment. You may find yourself thinking about the breath rather than being with it. And so when you notice that, just seeing if it's possible to move into the experience of being with. Nothing to do, nowhere else to be, just being in the present moment with your experience of the breath right now. And when you noticed you've moved away from the present moment, just keep coming back, time and time again, back to this moment. So as we bring this practice to an end, first allow yourself to realign, perhaps coming back into the room, having a bit of a stretch as we bring this practice to an end. So I wish you well for the rest of your day, and I'll be here again next week. Okay, thanks for coming.